All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Can you guys hear me? Yes. Great. Great. Right. So, hi. How is everyone doing? Great. Great. So, how was everyone's Sunday, guys? Good. All right. Great. Yes. Good evening. I'm good too. All right. So, first things first, how many of you guys are attending today's lecture for the very first time? How many people are new today? Yes, today is the third day. In fact, no, today is the fourth day. Today is actually the fourth day. Today is the last day. Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. So again, everyone who is new today, please leave a +1. Okay, I see 2, 3 people saying that today is the first day. What about the others? Okay, one more student said today is the first day. Great. So we have a lot of new students. So guys, I'll give you guys a quick introduction, right? I'm Avi Vashisht and I'm your instructor. Pre-course not AccioJob. Yes, I'm Avi Vashish, and I'm your instructor for the last, or I have been an instructor for the last 4 days now. And what we'll be doing is we have been working on this bootcamp, which is making your personal website from scratch using just HTML and CSS. Right now, I believe that a lot of you guys are new, so you do not really know what is happening. So again, this is a free bootcamp. These 4 days were free. In fact, tomorrow we have an extra class as well. Right. So the last 4 days, or including today's or tomorrow's lecture, the last 5 days, right, or these 5 days were just about helping you build a website from scratch. And today is the day where we finally get started with our coding part. What we did on the first day was we got an introduction, right? So if you want to see the recordings, you guys can see the recordings. Again, how do you see the recordings? All you need to do is you need to go to precourse.acciojob.com and then go and click on free bootcamps. Once you click on free bootcamps, over here you will see that you have this. And over here you can see that there have been 4 sessions thus far. Today is the 4th session, and you can just click on this to watch the recording. Right over here, if you click on this button, you will see that the recording will begin. And this was an orientation session taken by our CEO Yashvardhan Burad. And after that, I was introduced, and then I was taking your orientation class. So what we covered in the last 4 days, or in the last 3, 4 days, has been very, very fundamental when it comes to building websites. On the first day, we basically talked about what is the internet and how do websites actually work on the internet, right? That is what our very first day was about. Then we worked on our second day. What was the second day about? Second day was just about learning what HTML is. Then the third day was about learning what CSS is. And today, on the fourth and the final day, is the day when we are finally getting started with our coding part. Right. So apparently the third day's recording is not available. All right. I'll work on this and I'll give you guys the recording link by today. So if you guys are not there in the WhatsApp groups, please join the WhatsApp group. Over here, you can click the button, right? And it will take you to the WhatsApp group link. If not, I'll just copy this link and I'll send it over here for you guys to quickly have a look at it. So this is the WhatsApp group link. Over here, right? Over here, we have the lecture notes every day. Whatever I talked about has been covered over here, including the code that we'll be writing today is also here. So what I would like to do is I would like to copy this link and give it to you guys. So the first thing that I sent was the WhatsApp group link, and now the link that I'm sending, this is the link for our notes, right? So I hope all of you guys have been paying attention and you guys have been watching these classes, right? Most of you at least. The new students, you don't need to worry. We're going to start coding today. So I will try my best to explain to you guys from scratch whatever we are working on, right? And just to show you guys what we'll be building is, over here we have the Figma link. Yes, over here we have the Figma link. And this is what we'll be building today, right? Have a look at this. This is the website that we'll be coding, and I'll also show you guys the deployed link. So we will be creating the website and then we'll be deploying it. What does deploying mean? Deploying just means that making sure that your website is available for other people to see. That is what deploying means. All right, deploying means that, okay, what we are going to do is we're going to make sure that our website, whatever we have coded, other people can visit it. And how do we make sure of that? What we do is we'll be using GitHub to quickly do that. Right, have a look at this. The link that I've sent you right now, this is the deployed link. Deployed link meaning that any person on the internet can have a look at this link and they can view this website, the website that we have coded. All right. Is that clear to everyone? Please tell me if that is clear to everyone or not. Because again, today we are going to be covering a lot. Trust me, there is a lot to cover. So I don't really have time to, explain each and everything. I hope you guys have been revising or have attended yesterday's class so that you can quickly catch up on what is happening. Right. So somebody is asking, what does a bug mean? A bug just means an error, something which is wrong in our code. That is what what a bug would mean. Right. And somebody is saying, can you repeat this? All right. So basically what I wanted to tell you guys was what we are going to do today. Right. Today we are going to code from scratch. This is the design, right? This is the design that we'll be referring. Now, a lot of you guys don't know why are we referring to a design. See, building a website is like painting. Can you paint without a portrait, right? If you know, painters like to go to different scenes, sceneries, and then paint, right? You need a reference. So this is basically that reference based on which we'll be coding the website. All right, that is the first thing. So this is that reference where we'll be coding the website. All right, does this make sense, guys? And this is the final website that you guys can also visit and share. So instead of my picture, obviously it will be your picture. Instead of my name, it will be your name, right? I want you guys to make this as your portfolio and not as mine. And don't worry, what I will be doing is I will also be sharing the code with you. The code I will be sharing with you guys so that it becomes easy for you to follow the tutorial, right? So do not worry about the code at all. Okay. All right. Students are asking, sir, what kind of jobs can we get and all of those things. See, all of those things were discussed in the very first lecture. So please watch the first lecture's recording and then we can talk about all of that. Today's class is just about quickly coding this entire website. So are you guys ready to get started with the coding part? Please tell me. Shall we begin with the coding part? Yeah. Everyone leave a +1 if you want to get started with the coding part. Yes, let me first write the code. Only then will I share, right? Let me first write the code. Great. Good enthusiasm, guys. Today, let's keep the enthusiasm very, very high so that we can quickly get done with this. All right. Okay. So first things first, we need to build this entire thing. So what I will do is, sorry. Yes, what I will do is I will open my VS Code, and in my VS Code, obviously we have our index.html and we have our style.css. I think everybody should know this, right? We have our index.html, which has HTML head and body, and styles is empty, right? This is something we covered in the first 2 days. Correct. Yes. See, even if this is your first lecture, just pay attention. You will understand something. All right. Okay. So this is what we had done. Now today, what I'll do is first things first. If we go and have a look at this, or let's just take the example of the portfolio, right? Let's just take the example of the portfolio. So this is the portfolio. Actually, I will need the Figma link as well. So sorry about that. All right. Let's have a look at this. So what is the first thing that you see? What is the title? The title is Build Your Portfolio. So what will I have to do? I will have to basically, let me also reduce this a little, right? So that it's easier for you to see everything. Right. Okay. So what is the title? The title is going to be Build Your Portfolio. So inside my title, I'm going to say Build Your Portfolio. Right. And over here, if I go and go live, I will now be able to go live. And what do we see? We see that now our heading is the same. These two look the same, right? Okay. Now, what else is different, guys? Quickly tell me, what is the first difference that you see in the background of this website? Do you see that the background that we have is white, whereas this background is a little off-white, right? Do you guys know what off-white is? Does everyone know what off-white is? It's a color, right? So do you see the color difference between this white page and this page? It's a little off. Yes, like cream color. So first tell me, is my voice breaking for everyone or just one student? Because see, if it is just one student, obviously it might be your internet. All right. I cannot really do anything about that. So I would suggest maybe join again, switch your internet. But is my voice breaking for anyone? Clear? Okay, great. Yes, background color. So we need to find the color of this. Now, how do you find the color of this? Right. Well, to find the color of this, what you need to do is just go to the Figma. And this is why Figma is important. Because if you select this page, over here itself, you will see that there's a color, right? And even though this color looks like FD, FA, F3, I will tell you what this is. This is the hex code, right? Till yesterday, have a look at this. Till yesterday, how were we defining our body color? I said body, and then I used to say background color is equal to red. And this used to give a red color, right? This is what we did till yesterday. But what if I told you that even this red color was actually this value, right? So basically, there's a way of representing colors when it comes to websites. One way is using English, like red, green, orange. The other way is using these alphanumeric codes, which are called hex codes. This entire code is called hex code. Why? Because there are hex. That means there are 6 codes. And based on every code, there's a color change that is there. Based on every code, there's a color change that happens. Right? All FFF means white. 1F and all of these 0 mean red. This is also red. Right? This will mean yellow. Right? This will also mean yellow. And over here, this means again similar to white, and this is pure white. Right? So basically, there are a lot of ways of representing color. Now, what we have done in this portfolio is I have represented the background in this FD, FA, F3 color. So I will copy this. Even you guys can copy it, by the way. So I will copy it and I will paste it over here. And now look at this. Look at this. The moment I paste this, my website color changes. So look at this. If I have this as this, it's red. But the moment I paste this and make it this, it becomes this creamy beige color. Right? Again, what is this color called? This color is called a hex code. What is a hex code? A hex code is just a representation of color. Right? Just like red. What is red? Just an English representation of a color. Right? At the end of the day, color is something that a human can only see with his eyes. Right? Color is something that someone can only see. There's nothing else. Color is nothing else. It's just light, different colors of light. So there's no way of representing it. The representation can be anything. It can be hex code, it can be English, it can be Hindi. In Hindi, red is called lal. It's just different languages of naming colors, right? So this is another language. This is one language that is understood by our computer. All right. Okay. Hex code, not danger, representation. All right. Now, what other color do you see? Over here, I see this orange color also, right? I see this orange color also. So if I go over here, this orange color is actually this color, FF4D00. So now look at this. If I go over here and if I make my background color as FF4D00, it becomes orange. So first tell me if this is clear to everyone, the concept of hex colors. Basically, it is a code that I can pick from my Figma that I've given to you guys. Right? It's just a code, guys. It's just a color, specific value of color. That is it. Right? If this is clear, can we move on? Is this clear to the new students as well? What I've done is, guys, I've given a new body color to my, a new background color to my body. What is the body? The body is the entire HTML page. Correct? Okay. Now what? Now if I go over here, I will see that, okay, I have Avi Vashisht on the top of the screen, right? And it is written something like this. So let me try to mimic this. So how will I mimic this? First thing, I will make a box. If you guys remember, what did I tell you guys the other day? What did I tell you guys the other day? I told you guys that at the end of the day, everything and anything in HTML is a box. So can I say this thing is a big box that I have? This entire thing is a big box. I know my box is not really boxy, but I hope you guys are getting what I'm trying to say. This is again. For some reason, my pen is not working now. Anyways, but I hope you guys can understand, right? Can you guys visualize the box? That this entire thing is a box. This thing, the thing that I'm copying, right? This thing is a box, right? So what I will do is I will make a div, and inside my div I will have this. All right. So again, what I need to do now is I'll go to my website, and over here I will have my first div, right? And in my first div, I'm going to just give an H1 and say Avi Vashisht. Okay. Now I wanted to have a look at this and this. Do you see any difference apart from the full stop and the orange colored full stop? Please tell me if you see any difference, guys. Do you see any difference in this font? Right? Okay. Now, font is something that I hadn't taught you guys. So now see, font, does everyone know what font is? Font is the font style, right? Like Arial, Comic Sans, Times New Roman. Everyone has used Google Docs or Microsoft Word, I think. So without a div, it will be tough for you to handle. I'll come to that. But right now, tell me, no. It's not just about bold. The entire font style is different. See, this is also bold. I will show you what non-bold looks like. If I make this as a P tag, this is non-bold. This is non-bold, right? But when I had it as an H1, it was already bolded. The issue was not bolding. I will tell you what the issue was. The issue was the font style. So do you guys know what Comic Sans is? Comic Sans, Times New Roman. These are all very basic fonts that I think everyone has worked with, right? Yes, these are font styles. So how do you get font styles? First, tell me if everyone has identified the issue. Look at this. These are all different fonts, right? Comic Sans look like this. Impact looks like this. Arial looks like this. Times New Roman looks like this, right? So how do we take care of fonts? We will use Google Fonts. So guys, if you want to take care of fonts, the best website to refer to is Google Fonts. Okay, and I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. So if we go to our portfolio, if you select a text, let's say you select this text. Okay. If we select this text, you will see what font it is. What is the font? It says Poppins. If you select over here, even this is Poppins. Do you see that the text style is Poppins? Please tell me if everyone sees. So that means that just like there is Times New Roman, Comic Sans, Impact, other font styles are there, there's a font style called Poppins, and that is being used. So what I would want to do is I would want to use Poppins, right? So what I will do is in my Google Fonts, I'm going to search for Poppins. And over here, I can find Poppins. So wow, that means Poppins is something that is available and I can use it quickly. right? Now, how do I use it? So using Google Fonts is the easiest thing. Why? Because what you can do is you can see select the ones that you want. I think we want this one. Okay, we want this one. Let's just get all. Let's just get a lot of them. Okay. I got this one, I got this one, I got this one. You can choose on your own. Doesn't matter. Right? You can choose on your own. Now see what happens. As you are choosing, they're getting added over here. So you have selected Poppins and you've selected 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Right? This is the thickness. Now, if you go over here and press on import, you will see that this one line, I just need to add in my styles. So what I will do is I will copy this line from my styles, right? Import, and I will go and paste this in my styles.css at the very top. So what I did was, guys, I selected all the fonts that I like. This one I like, this one I like, this one I like. I selected these, and now what I can do is I can import them. How do I import them? I will copy this line and paste it inside my styles.css. Now what will I do is I will copy this thing. I will copy this entire thing and I will paste it in my body. And now look at what happened. So now look at this, that the moment, right? Till I do this, it is this. Till I have done this, it is this. But the moment I say font family is Poppins, the moment I do that, it becomes this. And now this and this look the same. Okay, in Poppins, what's difference in every line? So in every line, I'll tell you why we selected different. We selected different because over here, this is light. Look at this. This is a little thin. This is a little thicker, right? If you compare this one, this is so bolded, right? This is the max bolded. Whereas this is, as you scroll down, you will see that the thickness of the font is changing, right? The boldness. And you would want different boldness of the font. Okay, I will tell you how to copy color again. First, tell me, is font clear to everyone? What I did was I selected whatever font I want. Then over here, I copied this line. I added in my style.css. I copied this line and I added in my body. Okay, does this make sense to everyone? Please tell me. Great, great. So now what happens is now I have something like this, right? Okay. So now if you look about it, is that we are reaching somewhere very similar, right? We are reaching somewhere very similar. Now the only issue is that this thing is orange and this thing is black. How do I make this orange? How do I make this orange? Right? I think that is the only difference left now between this and this. Just the dot is left. How do I make the dot orange? I will tell you how. So there's a thing called span inside. You can use this span anywhere inside your text. So whenever you guys want to give an extra styling, right? Whenever you guys want to give an extra styling to something in a text only, like this text is there, and then between this text, there's something orange. So whenever in one text, a small part of that text is a different color or a different width or a different size, you use span tag. Why do you use span tag? Is because in the span tag, what I can do is I can pass in style like this, and I can say color, and I can say red. So look at this. What did I do? I basically said that inside my span tag, look at this. Inside my span tag, first we had the span, and if you look at it, span doesn't do anything. The UI does not change. But what I can do is I can give this a specific color. And now this color will be there. Do you guys see what I did? So basically, if you want to, this is a rule, guys. See, this is a rule. This is a syntax only. This is a convention. That whenever in a text, you have a long text, and in that long text, you want to change something, only a little part of it, right? You want just one word, two word, one line in 10 lines. You want to give it a different styling. What you do is inside that H1 only, you give it a span tag And then you can give a custom styling to that span tag. Right. So basically what ended up happening was the fact that your heading was black, but then over here, because of the span tag, you can give it a different color. Please tell me if this is making sense to everyone. Yes. Great. Great. Now look at this. Yesterday, what I told you was that you can directly give a styling over here, right? And I can say border is equal to 2 pixels, solid, and then black, right? So do you see that in this border over here, there's a little gap? Do you see that there's a little gap? Whereas over here, if I go, the gap is not there, right? So how do I fix that? Firstly, what you will have to do is you will have to give zero margin to your body. That is a rule. Because by default, some margin is given to your body. So you will give zero margin, and that is how this goes. But now, even over here, if you scroll, you will see that there is a border top, right? That you don't need. And even this border left, right, you don't need. See, this border left also you don't need. Over here, there's no border left. It is smooth. Top is also not there. But over here, border top is there and border, see, I'll show you. If I make this red, you'll see what I mean. Do you see that there's a border on the top and the left? Whereas over here, it's just on the bottom. So what I need to do is I just need to give a border bottom. Now it looks even better like this border bottom, right? And I'll make this black, right? Now what I need to do is, now I will tell you what is even more difficult. Yes, see, if you use the span tag before Avi Vashish, then what will happen is, look at this. If you use the span tag before this, everything will become red. Oh, sorry. Everything will become red. Why? Because everything is in the span tag. And if you just take Avi out of the span, only Vashish will be red. Why? Because Avi is normal, and then inside the span tag, where the color red is given, you have everything. So just to make the dot as red, we will want to do this. Okay. And in fact, the red dot is not red. The dot is orange and it is this color. So I will again copy this color from the Figma. Okay. How do I select this color? Just go over here and double click this. And then you will see that this is there at the bottom. So just copy this color and over here paste it. Like this. Is that clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone, guys? Okay. Now look at this. Now another issue is that you need this vertical line, that after this Avi Vashisht, there is a vertical line. How do I make the vertical line now? I taught you guys. Guys, how to make a vertical line? Please tell me. Border right. Right. So if I go over here, I can say H1 and I can say border right is equal to 2 pixels, solid, and then black again. And the moment I do that, and if I shift my tab, you will see that I see a border right. But where is the border right? It is over here. It is all the way over here, which is not ideal. So now I will tell you what you need to do, right? What needs to be done, now I will tell you. So if you guys think about it, what is happening? Your entire H1 is taking the entire width, right? It is taking the entire width. You don't want that to happen. Okay, you don't want that your H1 takes the entire width. So what do? We can maybe change our H1 and make it into a div, right? Let's try that. But now once you do that, then also this does not really work. And what ended up happening was you have two borders now. So basically, I will tell you about the new concept that I wanted to teach you. So first, tell me, can you guys imagine what is the issue that we're getting? The use of the border is to give this line. See, border is a border around a box. A div is a box. If you want to give a border around it, you will give it border property, right? Now what you need to understand is that, okay, the issue is coming. The issue is that firstly, this H1 is taking a lot of width. So maybe I can give it a less width, right? I can give it a less width by saying min width, min content. Now this is how it looks, right? But again, this is not really matching really well, right? So I will tell you what the issue is. Now, let's say I give this margin 0. Okay, now even that gap is gone. I told you yesterday that by default, all headings have a margin, right? Even that margin is gone. And you can even give a width of fit content to make it look like this. What does fit content do? Fit content just says that, okay, your div will take or H1 will take only that width which is required. Okay, so width, yesterday we saw that I can give a width like this, right? 300 pixels. I can still do it. I can still give it a width of 250 pixels, right? Or 280 pixels. I can still do this. It's up to you. If you want to use width like this, you can give this width. Now I will tell you what the issue with this is. Firstly, the issue is that there is no gap. Over here, if you go, you will see that there's a nice gap, inside gap. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to give this a padding, right? Padding of, let's say, 16 pixels. Now there's a nice gap, right? I can even give it a padding of 12 pixels to make it a little better, or 10 pixels. This is even better, right? Looks very similar. I think 12 will also do, right? Okay, this is looking very similar. Now this is done. Now this is done. What I want you to understand is, what is this? We have a resume, right? So this is basically the part. This is basically the part where you will click and your resume will open, right? Now, how do you make this part? By using an ahref. We learned that. Okay. I'll try to go a bit slow, but trust me, we are almost done. Now, after this, easy part is going to come, right? Trust me, after this, very simple, easy part is going to come, right? So what I wanted to tell you was that over here we need a resume, we need an ahref, right? An anchor tag. Does everyone remember that if I want to make a word or a heading clickable, I need an anchor tag? Correct? Everyone remembers that, right? And guys, let me also revise a little. I'll tell you. Just give me a second. I'll tell you what I've done. So far, what I've done is I've just made a div, right? I've given this div a border bottom, right? What is this border bottom doing? This border bottom, look at this. If I change the border's color, somebody asks what is border doing, right? Border is just the border of the div. If I say border bottom, that means there will only be the bottom border, right? So if I change the color red, look at this. Border bottom is this line. This entire line is border bottom. Okay, so I've given this. Then inside the div, I have a heading. And to my heading, I've given a border right. Why have I given it a border right? Border right is my vertical line. Vertical line. On the right of that heading. Right. That is my border right. Then over here, we give it a width. Why did we give it a width? Because by default, it was taking the width of the entire screen. We don't like that. So we gave it a width of 250 pixels. This looks good, right? If I would have given it a width of 200, it would have shrunken a little. 300 would mean expanding a lot. So 250 is the ideal width, right? So we have given a width of 250. We have given it a padding also. We have given it a padding also. Why did we give it a padding? Because without a padding, it was too close to the borders. Too close. We don't like that. So I gave it a padding also. All right. And I reduced the margin. The reason for that was because of the margin, there was a little gap. So it is a good thing to have give margin 0 to your headings. All right. Till here, is this clear to everyone? I revised also everything. Right. Now you need to understand that I need to make this. What is this? This is basically the part where I'm clicking the resume. So how do I make that? It is very simple. What I can do is I can just write an ahref, right? And over here, I can give my link. I can give my link of my resume. So what you can do is you can upload your resume on Google Docs, right? Or Google Drive and just give that link. Okay. And inside this, you will have another H1 only. And inside the H1, you will say resume. Now over here, you directly have this, right? Now, this is the part that I wanted to talk to you guys about. You need to understand, right? What you need to understand is that I need this resume on the right side of my screen. This is on my left. I need this on the right side of my screen. Over here, I need this, guys. Somewhere over here, right? Do you agree? I need this over here somewhere. Correct? So how do I make that happen? How do I make that happen? See, for this, I will be teaching you guys a new CSS property, right? For this, I would like to teach you guys a new CSS property, and let me tell you what that CSS property is. Okay. So that CSS property is what we call as flex. So what you need to understand is when you have a div, by default, if you have two headings, H1 and you have H2, let's say you have two headings, right? H1 and H2. By default, what will it look like? By default, the output will be heading 1 and heading 2, right? One below the other. Everyone agrees. By default, this is the output. Everything in HTML is one below the other, right? H1 and H2 below each other. Correct, guys? Do you agree? Now, what if I want to put this next to each other? I want this heading over here, next to each other. How do I do that? Well, the way to do that is very simple. What you will do is you will give your div the property of display flex. When you give the property of your display flex, what happens is by default, whatever the div will have will get arranged horizontally. It will get arranged horizontally. So your direction of your div goes from top to bottom. It changes to left to right. Left to right. Does this make sense? So basically, let's say this was my div, right? And over here, I have one div or heading, and over here, I have this heading. Since I want them horizontally, what will I do is I will give this div as a display of flex, right? And the moment I do that, these two things will shift from top to bottom to left and right, right? And look at this. It is basically like magic. Please look at this. So now, since they are at the bottom, right? Since they are at the bottom and I want them to be on the right and left, what I will do is I will take this div, right? I will take this div and give this a display of flex. The moment I do that, do you see what happened? The moment I did that, my heading changed. My heading became from top to bottom. It came on the right side. I hope everyone saw that, right? So just giving this display flex property, what I can do is I can make whatever is inside this div. There are two things, H1 and ahref. What I can do is whatever is inside this div, H1 and ahref, I can put it next to each other. Let's say there was another H1. If inside this div, there was another H1 which said buy, that will be on the right side of this. So do you see how the orientation of the div has changed from top to bottom? Instead of vertical, it has now become horizontal. How has it become horizontal? I gave the div. Guys, again, you need to understand that the big box inside of which all of the data is there, the box needs to have the display flex property, right? If the box has the display flex, everything will become next to each other. All right. Everything will become next to each other. Is this clear to everyone? Does this make sense? New concept, but easy concept, right? Basically, if you want to align things on right side of something, what we'll do is the parent div. See, it is the parent div which is in charge of the positioning, always. What is the parent div? The div which is enclosing all the items, right? Right now, I have three items, H1, anchor tag, and an H1. So I have H1, anchor tag, and H1. Three items, but these three items are inside that one big box. So if I tell that one big box that, hey, what you need to do is you need to put items not one below each other. You need to put them next to each other. What I will tell it to do, I will say that please do display flex. Is this clear to everyone? This is a very important concept, guys. And if you understand flex, you have understood everything. Right? And this was the peak. This was the toughest thing that you will learn today. Trust me, this will be the toughest thing that you will learn today. Please tell me if this is making sense. Again, by default, everything in HTML was one below the other. Right? Everything in HTML was one below the other. But what we did was, when I said display flex, I said that all of these things are right next to each other. Right? Now I will tell you, yes, we need this to be on the right side. Right now, this is together. I want them to be have maximum space in between. So what property you need to give now is, you need to say justify content space between. And when you do that, there is maximum space between two items. See, when you want to arrange items horizontally, there are a lot of ways. One way is together, the other way is separated. So if you want them to be separated on opposite ends, like magnets, polar opposites, North Pole, South Pole, East, West, if you want them to be have maximum space in between them, what you will give them is this property called space between. There's another property, justify content, called center. And what will center do? It will put everything on the center. So you have two items horizontally arranged, but either you can put them on the start, either you can put them on the center, you can even put them on the end, or you can put them apart. What do we want? We want to put these two things as far apart as we can, right? So that is why I will say space between. Space between means this element is on the extreme edge, and this element is on the extreme edge. Please tell me if this is making sense. Again, what did I do? So first, my item were one below with each other. So I said that the box that is covering these items, I told that box that, you know what, box, please can you put them right next to each other? So for that, I told it display should be flex. Display flex means items will be not below each other, they will be next to each other. Only in that div. Right? Then what happened? Then I had another issue. Then my issue was the fact that, okay, how do I make sure that this item and this item are not together? They are separated. They have maximum space in between of them. I used this space between property, and now look at this, that there is maximum space between them. Right? So if you want to learn how to import the resume link, that is very easy. Guys, just use Google Drive. Have you used Google Drive? What you need to do is just upload your PDF, right? Make your resume, upload it on Google Drive, and get a link. And then what you can do is, you can just copy that link, and paste it over here. Over here, just paste that link. Okay, your link. Over here, your link needs to be. All right. Okay. Now I will tell you guys what the issue is. Firstly, do you see over here, there's a right border? Do you see this right border? Do you see this right border? Please tell me everyone sees the right border on the right of resume. Everyone sees that? Yes. Okay. Now that is an issue. And I'll tell you why that is an issue. Because resume needs a border on the left. Resume needs a border on the left. If you don't believe me, look over here. Over here, there's no border, but in my example, there is a border, right? Resume needs a border on the left. So what you need to understand now is that over here, right now, when I say H1, I mean all the H1s in the entire web page, right? But what I want to say is that I want only a specific H1. I want this H1 to have border right, but this H1, I want to have border left. I want this div to have a border bottom, but I want this div to, let's say, have a border top. How do I make that possible? How do I make it possible? Did everyone understand the problem? Right now, the problem is that whatever item I have, right? So whatever div I have, or I am saying that every H1 will have a border right, but this H1 needs a border left. So now how can I give border right and border left at the same time? Using IDs. or using classes, right? So using IDs or classes. So basically, I need to say that, okay, this particular H1, only this H1 should have a border right, and only this H1 should have a border left. Does that make sense? Instead of saying that the entire, all, all H1s should have border right and all H1 should have border left, I am saying only this H1, this one will have border right, and only this H1 will have a border left. None of the other ones will have anything. Does this make sense? Please tell me if this makes sense. Instead of giving styling to the entire H1, entire div, everything, I want to just give styling to a specific div, a specific border, a specific H1. Does this make sense? It is like saying, I'll give you an example. It is like saying that, okay, first I'm saying that every student needs to wear a tie, right? Then I'm saying that, okay, every student needs to not wear a tie, right? No tie. So how will this be possible? How can every student wear a tie and not wear a tie at the same time? So what will I say? I will say that, okay, I need a differentiator. I will say that, okay, only these students in this class, right? I will give a class and I will say class 5th, right? Only students in class 5th wear a tie. Rest students or class 6 students, no tie. Does this make sense? Does this make sense that I will say that only 5th class students will wear a tie and 6th class students will not wear a tie, right? Or I will say 6th class students will wear a red tie and 5th class students will wear a blue tie. This makes more sense, right? Differentiating by classes. That is what we do in school. So just like that, what you can do is you can differentiate via classes in HTML, CSS also. And what you can do is you can give a class. You can give a class to this heading. Give it a class saying class is equal to, let's say, name. And you can give this a class and say resume. Or you can say name dash heading and resume dash heading. Whatever name you want to give. Right? It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3. It needs to be something informative. Now what will I say is, I will say that only my dot name heading. So if you want to target a class, this is how you will do it. Okay. If you want to target a class, you will say that only my name heading will have this styling and only my resume heading will have all of the same thing, just border left. And I will make this also as 150. So now look at what I did, guys. Do you see what I did? Basically, I'm saying that this class is heading class or name class. This class is resume class. I am saying that heading class has border right, and I am saying that the resume class has border left. Please tell me if this is making sense. And how do I access the class? By saying a dot. See, this is syntax. If you want to access a class, giving a class is this. Say class is equal to name heading, class is equal to resume heading. You've given a class. Now, if you want to give it a styling, you'll have to say dot name heading will have this styling and dot resume heading will have this styling. Please tell me if this is making sense. Yes, there's a concept of IDs also, but IDs I will tell later. Don't worry about IDs right now. Classes is a much better example, right? That you divide things by classes. That this class will only have this styling. This class will only have this styling. Please tell me if this is making sense. So now what I did was, I'll again revise what I did. Firstly, I made a div. I said that this div, right, will have two elements. It will have a name heading and it will have a resume heading. Now the name heading needs to be on the right, needs to have a right border. The resume heading needs to have a left border. Okay, that is the first thing. Then what did I say? Then I said that now while you are at it, I want the box to basically have a display flex. Why a display flex? Because right now my name heading and resume heading are one below each other. What I want them to do is I want them to be next to each other. So if I want two things to be next to each other, I want to give the parent container a display of flex. So I went to their parent container and I said, please give them a display flex. So display flex meaning now they are side by side. But now when they were side by side, they were right attached to each other. Then I said, I want these to be as far apart as possible. I want them to have as big of a space as they can be. So hence I gave them a space between. Please tell me if this is making sense. Is this making sense to everyone, guys? Cool. Similarly, what I would want to do is I would want to give this div also a class name, and I would say class is equal to header, right? And I will give this as dot header. Why am I doing this? I am doing this so that I don't style everything globally. I just say that, okay, this styling is only for this class. This styling is only for this class. This styling is only for this class. Okay. Otherwise, every div will get all the same styling. Sometimes you will want different divs to have different stylings, right? That is why divided by classes. If there would be 3 elements, let's see what will happen. Let's say we have 3 of these things. So 3 of these things mean that 2 will have space between and 1 will be in the center. See, that is the best way of putting space between all of them. If you have 3 things, they will be separated maximum, and in the middle you have 1 more element. Okay. If you have 4, you can try for 4 as well. Anyways. Okay, so this is done now. Now I wanted to have a look at something. Do you see this, guys? Do you see this? Guys, by the way, we will be done now in 30 minutes. We'll be done. Okay. Do you see this? How to remove border? By not giving this border class. Just remove this border and then the border will be gone. First, tell me now, do you see this? Now, the way I see this is that I have a left side and I have a right side. So what I will do is I will put all of these things in one box and this will be in another box. And this entire thing will be a big box. So my big box will have 2 boxes, one on the left side and one on the right side. So that means that the big box will again have display flex. So look at this. What I will do is over here, I will have a div, right? And I will call this as a big box, right? Inside my big box, I will have a left side, class left, and I will have a right side. And in fact, my right side will just be my image only. Please tell me if this is making sense. That what I did was, let me explain. The way I am looking at this, guys, the way I am looking at this is that, okay, what we have is, we have a big box. And this big box has 2 boxes, one on the left and the other on the right. The one on the right is my image. And the one on the left has some content. Ignore that. But at the end of the day, what does this mean? That this red box, which is the big box, right, that the big box will have a display flex. Why will it have a display flex? Because I want this content and this image to be next to each other and not one below each other. Does this make sense? Once more. Okay. So look at this. The way I like to look at this now is that over here, I have a left side and I have a right side. Okay. So the way I like to look at this is that I have a big box. I have a big box. And inside this big box, I have 2 small little boxes. One is on the left and the other is on the right. Okay. Now the red box, this red box, this has 2 items, left and right. Now, whenever you have left and right, that means this bigger container, always this will get display flex. Right. And this right one is just an image only. And this left one is a div which has a heading and it has a lot of other things. Is this making sense? Now tell me. So I am covering, guys, how to make this part. I am covering how to make this part. See, we have built the top part. The top part is done. I need to build this part with you guys. This part. Okay. I need to build this part with you guys. Yes. So basically what I will have is I will have a big container, and then this big container will have a left box and a right box. Please tell me how many of you guys have understood this? That I will have a big div. I will have a big div and call this big box. Then inside this big box, I will have a smaller div and I will call this as left. And I will have an image or another div and I will call this as my right. Please tell me if this is making sense. So that the big box can have a display flex. Display flex would mean that the left and right are not one below each other, they are next to each other. Right. So guys, if you want to see the recorded lectures, what you can do is you can go to precourse.acciojob.com, and inside precourse.acciojob.com, go to free bootcamp, and then over here, see watch recording. Right. Day 1, day 2, day 3, today's day 4. Okay. Please tell me if this is making sense to everyone. Right? Is this making sense? Good. So what I will do is I will have a big box, I have a left box, and I have a right image. The big box now, what I will do is the big box, I will give this a display of flex, right? And I will give this a width of 100%. Why am I giving this a width of 100%? So that it stretches to the entire screen. Okay, sometimes you will have to do that. And I will give this a justify content of space between also. Why? Because I want them to be separate, right? Okay. Then what will my left have? I will show you. So my left will have nothing but I will give this a width of 50% only. Why 50%? Or let me make it 60%. Why 60%? Because I want it to take, let's say, 60% of the screen, right? I want, see, guys, percentages works in HTML CSS because what will be 50 out of 50? Where did I do that? Okay. Let's say this is my div. I have a smaller div. Right. And I have this div. So if I do 50-50, meaning both will be equal. If I make this 50, if I make this 50, it is equal. Right. If I make it 90-10, this means this will be 10%, this will be 90%. Right. Can you guys understand that when I'm giving my left a width of 90%, I'm giving my right a width of 10%. So this will mean that this will take 90% and this will take 10%. Is this also clear? Very simple percentage. Right. So basically what I will say is I'm going to give my left a width of 60% and my right a width of 40%. Okay, why am I doing that? Just so that my left has more side, right has less side, up to you, right? Just because of styling. Now I need to teach you guys how to import images. I need to teach you guys how to do that. Okay, I will tell you how to do that. All you need to do is first get your image, download it. So this is my image. What I will do is I will download this image, right? And I'll call this Avi. Okay. Now what you need to do is go to your VS Code. In your VS Code, just drag and drop this. For some reason, just a second. Let me download this image. So image downloading you can do on your own, obviously. If it's your image, you can just get it however you want to, right? So what I will ask you to do is, where did my downloads go? Wow. Okay. So what you will do is just drag this image and put it over here. Okay. All right. So what I did, guys, was that I just copied and pasted. Another way will be that you go to your folder and add your image over here. Okay. So in your website folder, just add the image. That is the task. Please tell me if this is making sense. That if you want to import an image, that is your image. What you will do is you will just drag it in the same folder. Cool. Just copy and paste it in the same folder. Yes, guys, we are taking a break. Just give me 10 more minutes. Then I'll give you a break. Okay. First, tell me how many of you guys understood this? That just whatever image that you want to use, that is your image, right? Don't use mine, guys. Use yours, right? Whatever image that you want to use is which is yours. What you need to do is just open your website folder and drag and drop it over here, or copy and paste it, right? So next to your index and styles, just have this image also. Please give me a plus one if everyone has understood this. That if you want to use your image, just copy and paste your image in this folder. Make sure that this image is in this folder next to your index and styles. Okay, please give me a plus one if everyone has understood this. All you have done is moved your image to the folder where your website is. Okay, now inside your image src, just say / name of your image. So make sure you give a nice name, like I have given avi.png. So make sure you give a nice name, and you can just say my image.png, right? Give it a nice name, and then all you need to do is just do this. Just say / See, this / is very important. Say / and then say my image.png. Is this clear to everyone? Whatever is the name of your image, make sure your name of the image is nice. So rename the image name and make it something easy. Just do / myimage.png. If you want to learn how to rename, just over here you will get the option of renaming. Right? Just rename it via VS Code only. And what you need to do is just say src is equal to / myimage.png. Please tell me if this is making sense to everyone. Please tell me, guys. Now have a look at this. Do you see our image is already there? Perfectly. Right? Now, one more thing that I will tell you is, just sometimes what will happen is, see, sometimes with images, what happens is, sometimes images look like this. Have you noticed? Sometimes in websites, images look like this. Instead of looking normal, they look like this. Right? They look stretched. Yes. After this topic, I'm giving you a break. Just 2 more minutes, guys. So tell me this. Have you guys noticed that sometimes your images become stretched? They don't look nice. Right? In websites, sometimes the images look stretched. Right? To prevent your images from looking stretched, you have to style it. If you are styling it, you want to style it like this. Right? Instead of resizing it like this, you want to resize your images like this. Correct? Everyone agrees that always resize your image like this and not like this. Right? This looks so bad. Correct? So if you want to do that in HTML, see, I will show you something. Look at this. If you want to do this in HTML and not do something like this, right? What you will have to do is you will have to say object fit cover. Just say object fit cover. Okay, just write this line, and what this line will mean is, this line will mean that your image is not going to stretch like this. It's going to stretch normally. Okay. See, I know a lot of you guys will not understand this, but I'm just telling you this one line. This one line is just for the fact that sometimes your images will start looking like this. And what you want to do is you want to make your images grow like this and not like this. Right? Okay. Has everyone understood this? I am asking you to do it on purpose. Right? The only purpose of doing this is making sure your image doesn't stretch, rather it looks decent. All right. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. No worries. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Nobody can force you. But just like that. All right. So if this much is clear, let me revise again. One last time I'm revising, then I'll give you a break. What I've done, guys, is firstly I have a top box. That box has a display flex. What does display flex mean? Whatever items I have inside that div will be next to each other. And after display flex, I set space between. Why did I say space between? Because those items were together. I don't want them together. I want them to be in space between. Right. Then after that, what did I say? I made my two headings and I gave them a different class name. Why did I give it a different class name? Because I want one heading to have a right border, then I want one heading to have a left border. So that example comes in that I'm asking students to go on the right also, I'm asking students to go on the left also. I will have to give them classes. I will have to say class 5 students go on the left, class 6 students go on the right. So just like that, I gave it a class name. I said heading 1 or I said name heading, go to the left, right, border right. And then right heading or my resume heading have a border left so that the border is there. Then similarly over here in the main part also I have a big box and that big box has two divs, left and right. Now again, the big box will have a display flex because I want left and right to be on left and right and not bottom. By default, everything in HTML is one below the other. So instead of having left and right like this, I want left and right like this. Right. So that is why I give this as the left side, this as the right side. Right. The right side is just my image. Now, how do I import an image? I first download my image and I make sure my image is in the same folder as my HTML and CSS file. Once I download my image and make sure it is there index in HTML file, what I need to do is I just need to rename it. Why do I rename it? So that I can use it in my code. In my image code, I just say img and then I say src, which is source, is equal to dot slash. This dot slash is very important. Dot slash my image.png. Right? Whatever is the name, including the extension. Your file can be JPG, JPEG, right? So if your file is JPG, use JPG. JPEG, use JPEG. If your file is PNG, then use PNG. Is this clear to everyone? Because if this is clear, now trust me, more than half of your website is done. This part is the easiest part. This part, guys, is the easiest part. Trust me, this will take like 10 minutes. Okay. Right. Great. So now I will give you guys a break. Please do not leave the class. As you guys can see that today we are coding a lot. Right. I will give you guys a break and today the class will go till 10:15. Okay. Today the class is going to go till 10:15. So, all right. Let me give you guys a 10-minute break only today. But again, be prepared, guys. If you're hungry, please arrange your dinners accordingly. Today, the class will go till 10:15. Okay. It is not going to end at 10 because we have a lot to cover. Right. Sure. The PDF link is this. Here you go. I've attached the PDF link. And again, guys, today the class will go till 10:15. So please have a good break. Do not waste your time. If you have to have your dinner quickly in 10 minutes and be here. Okay. Do not leave the class. All right, everyone. Please leave a +1 as you guys are back, right? And I will tell everyone how to access the previous classes, so don't worry. Firstly, everyone leave a +1 so that we can know that everyone is here, and then we can quickly get done with this, right? Because, like I said, we're almost there. I feel okay. First, everyone leave a +1. Let's see how many of you are here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just 8 out of 46. Come on, guys. Only 1/5. What about the others? We can have at least twice, thrice as more, right? Come on now. This is like 12, 13 students. More students, guys. Leave a +1 if you guys are back. That's the question. Great. 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 So, all right, guys, let's just quickly get done with this, right? And first things first, I know a lot of you guys joined today only, and this was your first class. So, I would like to take a moment to apologize to you guys because I feel I did not do a very good job of explaining everything from scratch to you guys, right? Now, obviously, guys, we have been learning about HTML and CSS for the last 4 days now. Today is the fourth day. So, it wouldn't be feasible for me to go through each and every topic. But what I can tell you guys is how to learn all of these topics. So what you need to do is you can go to our precourse.acciojob.com. All right, this is the website precourse.acciojob.com. Go to free bootcamp section, and in this section you will see that over here we have all the recordings. All right, so please see all the recordings. Just click on watch recording, and it will take you over here. Just click on this play button, and when you click on the play button, then this recording starts. Right. So over here, there on day one, you know what we did. Day two, what we did. Day three was this, and now day four is today's day. Right. So even though tomorrow we will have an overall revision class and overall extra class, don't worry about that. But I just wanted to quickly get done with today's class. Right. And again, like I promised, I will be giving you guys all of the code that we are doing today. So don't worry about the code. Don't worry about coding it along with me. I will give you the code. Just understand whatever I'm doing. All right. Does this make sense to everyone? Can we quickly get started with the left side now? What do you think? Yes? Great. All right. So now, guys, what I want you to understand is we want to build this part. So now, obviously, this is what? This is a very simple heading only, H1 only, same size, right? So what I will do is in my left side, the first thing that I will do is I will have an H1. And this H1, I'll name this. Now I will tell you the issue. The issue is one, that this is directly like this. I also need a border over here. Firstly, that is another issue that I have, right? That I need a border over here. That is the first issue. Second, if you see over here, there is a border, right? That is the first issue. Second, the issue is also the fact that over here, I have a line break. So how do I add a line break? So again, adding a line break is simple. I will tell you. After hi there, just as add a BR. BR stands for BR stands for line break. So as soon as you do that, there's a line break. Now I will tell you there's an issue. The issue is that I need to put this also inside a div. So basically, the way I am looking at it again, right? And I will call this as a small box. So the way I am looking at it is that over here, we have three small boxes. One small box, second small box, third, in fact, fourth. Third small box and fourth small box. Do you guys agree? That inside the left side, I have four small boxes. One small box, second small box, third small box, and fourth small box. Do you agree? Does everyone agree? Yeah. So now inside my small box, what will I do? Inside my small box, I need to style this first. So again, what will I style it? I will first say dot small box and I'll give everything a padding of 16 pixels. Right. I would also like to give a border right to my left side and I would like to call it 2 pixels solid and black. Why am I adding a border right to my left side? So that I can have this line. Earlier, this line was missing. Now this line is also there. Now this is also there. Right. Now what is left? This is left. I need to give this orange. How will I make this orange? By using the span tag. right? So I will go over here and I told you whatever word you want to make orange, just add a span over there. So I want to make portfolio orange, so I will make this, right? And what will I do? I will say again, we have done it in the header. Let me just copy this. Style color is this. That is all I need to do, right? So I will say style color is this. And over here we have this, right? So simply I've done this. Great. Now this is done. Now tell me, how can we build this? How can we build this? Can you think of one thing that we can build this with? Firstly, I told you guys that this will be a div, right? Now again, is this div a display flex div? So the way I like to see it is that over here we can have a div. This box can be a big box, and that big box can again be a display flex, which will have 3 items. And all of those 3 items, firstly, they will be one below each other. And as soon as we make it flex, they will be right next to each other. Do you see the vision? Does everyone see the vision, guys? So basically, again, what I will do is inside this, after this h1, I will make a div and I will call this as my flex div. Inside this flex div, I will have my capsule. So I will say capsule, right? And the first capsule is HTML. Then I have another capsule called CSS, and the fourth capsule will be Figma. Look at how it is looking. It is looking like this right now, one below each other, right? Now, what do I need to do? I need to style my capsule. How do I style my capsule? I will say dot capsule. And what will dot capsule have? It will have a border, 2 pixels, solid black. This is how it looks, right? I need to give this a margin. If you guys remember, margin was outer spacing. I need to give it an inside spacing as well. And I need to say width is equal to something like 150 pixels. And then I can say text align is equal to center, right? I can make this 80 pixels. So look at what I did. I gave it a width of 80 pixels. That means width is there. Text line center, meaning it is centered. If I do left, it will be on the left. If I do right, it will be on the right. So if I want to make a text center, I will say text line center. Padding I've given, margin I've given. Margin is again the spacing outside, right? Padding is again the spacing inside. Then I will give this a border radius of what? 10 pixels. That's not a lot. 20 pixels. That is not a lot. 50 pixels looks nice. So now do you see what I did? I've made capsules and all of the capsules have a padding. Padding is inside space. Margin is outside space. Border is the border. Border radius is the curvature. And text line center, meaning everything will be centered, right? So sure. So if you want to go and learn from the class content, just go to precourse.acciojob.com, sign in, go to this free bootcamp section. When you go to this free bootcamp section, you will see my face over here. And these are the recordings that you need to watch. Then just click on these recordings and you can see the recordings. Session 1 recording, session 2 recording, session 3 recording, right? That's it. Okay. All right. So now guys, what is left? I need to make them stand one next to each other. How can I do that? So if you remember over here, I have a flex div, right? I will just copy this and I will say my flex div will have a display of flex. The moment I say this, that is when these become aligned next to each other. So now did you guys understand the true power of flex? What you can do is you can make 3 divs or 4 divs or 5 divs. They will all be one below each other. Then you wrap it around one big container, one big div, and you give that div the property of flex. The moment you do that, everything goes from top to bottom or to left, right, center. Right? Please tell me if this is making sense. Yes. Great. So people are asking what is flex? So see, I told you that display flex is this property that by default, your content in HTML goes from top to bottom, right? Top, bottom, stuff like that. What you need to do is you need to shift it. You need to shift it and make it from left to right. So instead of your divs being arranged top, bottom, you need them left and right. So if you want the div to be left and right, the parent div will need to have display flex so that all the children, right, all the divs inside this are next to each other. Please tell me if this is making sense to everyone. Somebody said image part repeat. Okay. See, repeating the image part is also simple. What you need to do is go to your folder. This is my folder. And let's say this is my image. I will just drag and drop this image. Or I will copy and paste this image. Now, as soon as I put an image in this folder, in this first website folder, what you will see is that in my VS Code, I see that image. Now, I will just rename this image and call it something like my image. Right? You can name it whatever. Just keep the name simple. Then you will have this image. What you will want to do is go to your image, give it a class name and give it an SRC. The SRC is the source. So you need to say dot slash and then the name of your image and the dot extension. So the entire name of your file, the entire name of your file. Okay. And that's it. So has everyone understood whatever we did so far? Come on, guys, please tell me. Great. Now what is left is this thing. Easy, very simple. All you need is a p tag. So outside of this div, just give a p tag and just have this, right? I am, and please write a description about you. And if I go to my portfolio over here, I have that. So this is also perfect. Now what is left is border bottom. So if you remember, we had made this small box. So what I will do is go to your small box and give it a border bottom of again 2 pixels, solid and black. And now you have a border bottom also. So do you see how the image is coming together? The website is coming together. Now we have a simple section. This itself will be a small box. Small box has one heading and a ordered list. Do you guys remember what was an ordered list? A list with 1, 2, 3. So look at this. How simple is this? I will just copy this list. Go over here to my code. Over here in my code, okay, in my code, I'm going to now say, again, I will close this div. I'll make another small box. Okay, class will be small box only. And inside this, I will firstly have a heading. What will be the heading? Education. Right. After education, I will have an ordered list. Right. And inside my ordered list, I will have my li. And that's it. So look at what I did. My small box has my heading. Then it has my ordered list. What was my ordered list? It was just a list with numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, and 3. So now over here, I have this. My ordered list is also done. Did everyone understand this? This was quick, right? Now, what is your third tip? Your third tip is work experience. What is work experience? Again, heading and an unordered list. So how do you make an unordered list? All you need to do is copy this again, close this, outside of this, have another small div, say work experience. I will copy these 3 things, paste them. Right. Instead of saying OL, I will say UL. The moment I say UL, look at what I have. This. So what is this? A heading, a UL. What is a UL? Unordered list. And inside every unordered list, we will have a list item. So this is something we covered on the second day, guys. So the students who do not understand this, we have covered this in depth on the second day, right? How to make lists. And this is that, right? Now, you guys can probably guess what is the third component. Please tell me what is this third one. Quickly tell me. What is this third component? Fourth, sorry. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, what is this fourth div? Ordered list. and H1, then an ordered list. And what is inside an ordered list? Li. What is inside the Li, guys? This is clickable. The Li is clickable, meaning an A tag. Okay. So, all right. Let me just teach you that. So let me just copy this entire thing only. Paste it over here. Call it social media. Right. This will be Instagram. This will be, let's say, LinkedIn. This will be Gmail. Right. Now over here, I need to make these clickable. Right now, these are not clickable. See, these are not clickable. So how do I make this clickable? Very simple. All I need to do is I will just wrap all of these LIs with an A tag. See guys, whatever you want to make clickable, just wrap it with an A tag. And now, and inside the A tag, you will also have to write a link. So you will have to give a link. Right. And the moment you do that, that is when this becomes clickable. Do you see how this is clickable? What did I do? I just had my UL. Inside my UL, I have my A tag. And inside my A tag, I have my LI. Right. So whenever you want to make an item clickable, all you need to do is just have an A tag next to it. Right. And this becomes clickable. And with this, your entire website is done. With this, your entire website is done. So guys, imagine that within 1 hour, 1.5 hour, including the break, you guys have successfully finished making your entire website from scratch. And please tell me, if I show you the code, will you be able to understand the code? Please tell me that. Again, you have a body. The body has two divs, a header and it has a big box. The header is this box and the big box is this one. The header has two divs, left div, right div. The big box has two div, left div, right div. Right. Right div is just an image. What is the left div? The left div has four divs, which is small box. So small box 1, small box 2, small box 3, and small box 4. And every small box is a heading. And sometimes it has a div. It has a p tag, heading, ordered list, heading, unordered list, heading, unordered list. Right. So please tell me if you guys have successfully understood the code. Again, you don't have to write the code. Right now, I will share the code with you. Right. And while sharing, I will also show you guys how to share this to all of you guys. Right. Are you guys ready? No, your code will not be deleted. But see, if I delete VS Code, your code will not delete because the code is over here. In these files, your code is there. Okay. All right. So if you guys are ready, let me now teach you guys how to quickly add all of this in GitHub. Okay. So see, making the website is done. Everyone agrees? Making the website is done. Quickly tell me if everyone agrees that making the website is done. Leave a +1. Now, the part is that how do you share this to your friends and family? See, because if I share this link, look at this. If I share this link with you right now, open this link and tell me, do you see my website? You don't see my website, right? There's no way you will see my website. Correct? Open the link, guys. I've sent you a link in the chats. I'm so sorry. Something on my desk fell. Right? There's no, the link does not work. Can't reach page. Exactly. So how do I make sure that my website is on the internet so that all of you guys can access it? That is the problem statement. Now, what we'll be using for that is GitHub. Okay. So understand what GitHub is. We'll be using GitHub to make sure we'll be using GitHub for two things. One thing, code is online. Second thing, website is deployed. So firstly, I will tell you why GitHub is used. GitHub is used so that your code can be online, right? So since I want to share my code with you guys, I need to share 3 files, right? So I need to make sure that my code is online and available to all of you guys. That is the first problem. that GitHub will solve. The second problem that GitHub will solve is that my website needs to be deployed. What is deployed? Deployed means that everyone can see it. The public can see it. Is this clear, guys? I'll be using GitHub. Again, just to revise, I'll be using GitHub for two things. One thing is code is online. I will be making sure that my code is online, available to you guys. Second thing is that my website is deployed. See, deployed is a new word. Deployed just means that your website is available for everyone to see, right? Friends and family can see. All right, that is what deployed means. Please tell me if this is clear to everyone, that we are using a website called GitHub now. I will be showing you guys how to do that. And it will do two things. First thing is to put the code online so that I can share that code with you. The second thing it will do is it will make sure that my website is also online so that I can share my website also. All right. So for that, what you will need to do is obviously you will need to go to github.com. So guys, now look at these steps properly. Everyone look at these steps properly. I will not repeat again. Go to github.com. I will write these steps over here also. Okay. All right. Guys, again, I will not repeat this. I will not repeat this. Please pay attention. I want everyone to pay attention. Is everyone paying attention? So why are we using GitHub? For two things. Putting code online. Second, making website available to friends and family. All right. Now I need to do two things. First, I need to make my code online. So for that, what will I be doing is create a new repository, which is a folder. Okay. Make it public. So look at this. First thing you need to do is you will sign up on GitHub. Obviously, that is the first thing. Signing up on GitHub is free, guys. Everyone can sign up on GitHub. When you go to your profile now, there are a lot of ways of creating a repository. Either click on this plus icon and create a new repository, or go to your repositories and click on this green button. Right. So I will click on this plus icon and create a new repository. What is a repository? A repository is a folder. A repository is just a folder. So I will say my portfolio October, right? Or my portfolio September. Technically, we started in September. So guys, I'm naming the folder as my portfolio September. Is this clear? What you need to do is click on create a new repository and create a new folder with this name. Okay. Clear, guys? Everyone clear? Give any name you want. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want. Then make sure it is public. Make sure it is public. Okay. Don't make it private. Make it public. And click on create repository. So just two things, right? Just two things. Create a new repository. A repository means a folder, right? Give it a name like my portfolio. Okay. Then what you need to do, make it public. It will by default be public. Is this clear to everyone? These two steps? Please tell me, guys. Again, I will not repeat again. What did I do? Created a new repository, gave it a name, and made it public. Okay. Now, what you will see is over here, you will see the option of uploading an existing file. Please tell me everyone sees this option of uploading files. Uploading file, right? So just click on this upload file button and choose your files. So now go to your folder and choose your all three files. Okay, choose all three files and open them. Now all of your files will get uploaded one by one. right? All of your files will get uploaded one by one. Okay, and commit. It will take some time, and that's it. What did I do? I basically said, click on upload files, upload all three files, index.html, styles.css, and what? Image.png, right? Is this step clear to everyone? What did I do, guys? I created a repository. It was public, gave it a name, and uploaded all my files. This is clear. This was a very simple, easy step. I think everyone should have understood this, right? Agreed. Now, guys, I want you to have a look at this link. First, tell me, can everyone see the code? Can everyone see the files? So did I do step one? Yes. Did I do step one? Okay. For those who are asking me to repeat, I'll repeat again. See, you will create an account on GitHub, create an account. Then the first thing you need to do, create a repository, create a new repository. Okay. Create a new repository, give it some name, give it any name that you want to, and make sure it is public. Make sure it is public. Then once you create it, right? Once you create it, over here, you will see an option of uploading files. See, over here, you will see an option. This option is in blue, upload an existing file. Okay, if you want, I can click a photo of this. And mark it for those who cannot see it. Just a second. Can everyone see this? This button will be there. Wow, I think I missed. Just a second, I'll just upload this for everyone to see only. Guys, I cannot make it more evident than this. All right. This is the best I can do. I'm sorry. Okay, so I've attached a picture also over here. All right. So has everyone understood it? Then all you need to do is upload all the files. Okay. Just a second, guys. I don't want to create an unnecessary repository. That's why deleting this. You don't have to delete your repositories, guys. Ignore that. Okay. So what did I do? I created a new repository. I named it something. I made it public. And then I added my files. Is these three steps clear to everyone? Please give me a +1 and only then we will move on. I've added this in the notes also. Okay. First step, create a new repository. A repository means folder. Give it a name like my portfolio, make it public, and click on upload files and upload all the three files. Okay. Now we have the second step. How do I do the second step? So again, look at this. What you will do is you will go to settings. Inside settings, you will go to pages. Now let me click a screenshot of this and let me give you one by one steps. So first step was going to settings. All right, this is the first step. This is the second step. Okay, guys. Is this clear? Step 1, click on settings. Step 2, click on this pages. Now step 3, click on this. Okay. Again, let me upload this. Guys, this is the first time I've done this for any students. So I hope everyone is following. So look at this. First step was clicking on settings. Click on settings. Second step was click on pages. Then what you need to do is click on branch and click on main. Okay. And then click on save. And that's it. Let me show it to you guys again. So what was step 4? Step 4 was this was step 4, right? Oh my god, just a second, guys. So sorry for this. This was step 4. And click on main. All right. And then click on save, obviously. I hope you guys will be able to do this much. Right. So just to explain everything again. Step 1. Okay, step 1 was go to settings, click on pages, then click over here. Then when you click over here, click on main. Okay, and click on save. You will have to save it. Now, once you do that, see what will happen. Once you do that, automatically after 2-3 minutes, if you refresh, look at this 1 minute ago, automatically after 2-3 minutes, if you refresh this page, you will get this link, and this link is a link that you guys can share. And if I copy this and share with you guys can visit this link. So what did I do? Again, let me quickly tell. All right. First step, create a repository. Second step, give it a name, make it public. Third step, upload all your files. Also, one important step is make sure you have an index.html. This file name is very important. Please follow this convention only. I would say just follow this convention. Okay, everyone, please follow this convention. Then click on settings, click on pages. Once you click on pages, click on main and click on save. Once you click on save, after 2-3 minutes, when you refresh, it will take some time. It takes 2-3 minutes sometimes. After 2-3 minutes, over here only when you refresh, you will get your link. Please tell me if this is clear to everyone or not. And that is how you will get both the links. This is your code link. And if you go to settings, go to pages. This is your deployed link. Okay. Please tell me if everyone understood this or not. And again, let me attach. Let me attach the code link over here and everything over here only. So please tell me how many of you guys have understood all of these 3 steps. Do you know how to get the code link? You know how to get the deployed link. Please tell me if everyone can do that. Now, here you go. I'm sharing this link again. This is the link of the notes, and everyone will be able to follow this. So which one is the code link and which one is the deployed link? I'll tell you again. So this is my deployed link with the github.io is my deployed link, and my code link is just my GitHub link. Okay, just go to your repository. When you click on your repository, this link that you get, this is your code link. And then when you go to settings and go to pages, this link is your deployed link. Please tell me if everyone has understood this or not. I believe this was the first time I explained everything one by one in 1 by 1 steps. Right? Okay. So guys, how does it feel? You guys have successfully finished the bootcamp. How does it feel that in a matter of 2 hours, we built a website from scratch and we made it available for sharing also? Good. Great, great. Now I will give you and tell you what tomorrow's class is about. Now, guys, you have the code, right? I want everyone to make changes on their own. You have the code, download the code, change my name into your name, change my hobbies into your hobbies, change my education into your education, change my academics into your academics, change your picture, right? Change the colors also. Make it black, red, make it blue, green, make it yellow, orange, make it attractive. I am giving you guys 1 full day. Tomorrow on 2nd October, right? Today is a holiday, tomorrow is a holiday. Tomorrow is a national holiday, right? So no excuses. I want everyone, just copy it. There is an option to download it. Don't worry. So great, great. So guys, today is the only time I'm giving you a homework. I want everyone to understand the homework, right? I want everyone to change the website, change the code. How to download the code you said? Just click over here and download the zip file. All you need to do, guys, is click over here and download the zip file. Okay. And then unzip it, obviously. All right. Yeah, sure. I will resend the link. Please, of course, by all means. How to submit tomorrow? A form will be given to you guys on the WhatsApp channel, WhatsApp group. I've sent the link a lot of times now. You have everything. All right. Tomorrow's homework is, guys, that I want you to make some changes on this website. Change your image to change my image to your image. Change these things. Change the text. Change the your name, right? Change the education. Change the work experience. Change this, right? Change the colors also. I want all of you to change all the things. Add different colors, right? Add a color for this also. Add a color for this. Change the theme. Why just cream color and orange color? Make it black, make it blue, make it yellow, make it orange. Use your creativity, right? Add in your image. Add in more images if you want to. One below the other. Keep on adding images, right? So I want you to make any changes that you want to, and then use GitHub to upload it and make your own portfolio. Guys, right now the code that you have is my code. I want you to make some changes to that code and make it yours. Okay, please make it yours. Has everyone understood what you have to do? And tomorrow I will then ask you guys to send your links and we will see. Everyone will have a nice interactive session. We're going to have a last class tomorrow, 8 to 10 p.m., where I am going to see who all did their homework. And I can see that already somebody has sent their link. So good job. This looks very nice. Great work. All right. Good job. Actually, very nice. So everyone, please take your time. You have 1 more day, right? And does everyone know what to do? Download the zip code, change the code, upload it on GitHub on a new repo. Go to your profile, create a new repo, upload the files, follow the steps in the notes, and then you will get your deployed link, and then you will obviously send me your links, right? So now I will let you guys be. I'm leaving the class early, 10 minutes early. Tomorrow, 8 to 10 p.m., guys, I want to see everyone's website. All right. And please tell me, how was the class? Do you feel like you have made your website? How was the experience of making your first website? I know today's class was a little rushed. I can understand that, but everyone has learned. I know that for sure. Right? Wow, Ghansham has a very good website. Ghansham, clearly you know how to code before doing this coding round. Right? Amazing work, Ghansham. I will definitely have a look at this tomorrow also. Okay, this looks very cool. All right. So, guys, I hope to see you tomorrow. Same timing, 8 to 10 p.m. Good job. Proud of you. Enjoy your Sunday nights. And I hope to see you tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining AccioJob's Bootcamp. Tomorrow is the last day, 2nd October, again, 8 to 10 p.m. Please be ready with your homework. All right. Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. You guys have given me your time. And I hope I was able to teach you something in these 4 days. And I hope that even the new students today did not feel left out. I was able to help you guys also. So I'm really sorry if I was not able to, explain everything to the new students. But please watch the recordings and you will understand everything. All right. Thank you so much, guys. And again, I hope to see you tomorrow. Please don't leave. Tomorrow is the last class. Right. I hope to see everyone tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.